Hi and welcome. I'm trying to learn history. Today the Treaty of Amiens. And afterwards we're going to do standing leg stretching. And if you participate in the standing leg stretching, that's the obvious. The Treaty of Amiens, in French, La Part d'Amiens, literally meaning the peace of Amiens. Okay, La Part, that is in French the peace. La Part. Pax is in Latin, peace. And peace is in English, and pi, I don't know how it's pronounced. D'Amiens. La Part d'Amiens. Probably Amiens. La Part d'Amiens. The Treaty of Amiens. The peace of Amiens. The Treaty of Amiens temporarily ended hostilities. Okay, we're going to talk here about war. The Treaty of Amiens temporarily ended hostilities between France, the Spanish Empire, and the United Kingdom at the end of a war of a second coalition. Okay, it was signed in 1802. Just so you know a little bit on, just for context. 1802. The Treaty of Amiens, that was probably done in the city of Amiens, and where the people were able to find temporarily peace, temporarily end the hostilities between France and the Spanish Empire and the United Kingdom. And that was then the end, or at the end, of a war of a second coalition. It marked the end of the French Revolutionary Wars. After a short peace, it set the stage for the Napoleonic Wars. Okay, it was the end of the French Revolutionary Wars in 1802. The French Revolution, it started I think 1787, it was mainly in 1789. When the executions were 1793, and now it seems that the French Revolutionary Wars ended in 1802. And this Treaty of Amiens then was, in a way, the beginning of the Napoleonic Wars. Now it would be good to know when Napoleon became emperor. Okay, but a few things as an overview are important. It are the French Revolutionary Wars, and then the Napoleonic Wars. And this Treaty of Amiens was the end of a war of a second coalition, ending more or less the end of the French Revolutionary Wars, and setting the stage for the Napoleonic Wars. Britain gave up most of its recent conquests. France was to evacuate Naples and Egypt. Britain retained Ceylon, Sri Lanka and Trinidad. Okay. Britain gave up most of its recent conquests. So Britain has conquered something, but now they're giving it up. That was signed when they agreed on that to come to an agreement. France was evacuating Naples and Egypt. I'm not sure if Naples is... No, it can't be the city I don't know if it's the city in Italy. And Egypt. And Britain retained... I don't know the word retained. It has the opposite of... No, something similar to attaining. Doesn't mean they got it back. But here's written, Britain gave up most of its recent conquests. So maybe we're going to look up another part of the word retaining means. Britain retained Ceylon, which is today Sri Lanka and Trinidad. It was signed in the Hotel de Ville, City Hall of Amiens on the 25th March 1802. 4th Germinal 10 in the French Revolutionary calendar. By Joseph Bonaparte and Charles Cornwallis, first Marquess Cornwallis, as a definite treaty of peace. The conquest peace lasted only 1 year, and was the only period of general peace in Europe between 793 and 1814. Under the treaty, Britain recognized the French Republic. Together with the Treaty of Luneville, 1801, the Treaty of Amiens marked the end of the Second Coalition, which had waged war against the revolution of France since 1798. Okay, in France there was a revolution for some years. And when the Second Coalition was people coming together and fighting against this revolution in France, or the new, then becoming French Republic. As the Treaty of Amiens, France was retreating from Egypt and Naples. And Britain was giving up some recent conquests and also recognized the French Republic. So the war fought onto the French... I think the French Revolutionary Wars are the wars fought onto the French Revolution by the other European countries. and not the French Revolutionary Wars, and not the wars inside of France. This is just a revolution, I think. Okay, the Treaty of Amiens ended the War of the Second Coalition and also ended the French Revolutionary Wars. Britain recognized the French Republic now as a country, together with the treaty. And now it was 1 year of peace before the war broke out again with the Napoleonic Wars. And the treaty was signed that Britain gives some territories up. They retain Ceylon, Sri Lanka and Trinidad. I think that means they still have Ceylon and Trinidad, and France was accepted as its own country. And France was retreating or evacuating Naples and Egypt. Okay, a little picture to it we have here. A painting probably of a Treaty of Amiens, or the definitive Treaty of Peace, the Peace of Amiens by Jules Claude Ziegler, is from 1853, so 50 years later, is with painting. By Jules Claude Ziegler, 1853. The Treaty of Amiens was 1802, and it ended the French Revolutionary Wars, and also together with the Treaty of Luneville, 1801, the end of the Second Coalition. France was recognized by Britain as a sovereign state, a French Republic, but France had to leave for that Naples and Egypt. Now, we're having quite something more, and even more pages, so we will continue with the Treaty of Amiens in the next part. I wanted to say something else. If you were here for the next part of the Hanging Gardens of Babylon in history, then go also to the next part. We will continue also with the Hanging Gardens of Babylon in some place. Now, it was the Treaty of Amiens. If you were here for the Treaty of Amiens and you are here for the Treaty of Amiens or the Hanging Garden of Babylon or something else to history, you can go directly to the next part of history or the next part of the Treaty of Amiens or Hanging Gardens of Babylon or something else. We will do now the leg stretching, standing leg stretching. If you participate in the standing leg stretching, let's sit on this. We bring you one leg up with a mushroom and a boiling footer. And let's go directly over, taking the foot at the ankle again, and then making a straight back, and we bring the knee down to the floor. So we're stretching the whole body. And the other leg up, on the foot down. And together to the ankle, make a straight back and put the foot down. And let it get loose. And now we're doing the pie and pilcrow exercise. We're bringing one leg up. We're breathing in. Out the leg to the side. Breathing in. Out into the middle. And down. The same leg and out, up. Breathe in. Out to the side. Breathing in. Out into the middle. And the other leg up, breathe in. Out to the side. Breathing in. Out into the middle. And down. Another time. Breathe in. Out to the side. Breathing in. Out into the middle. And down. And now the garden gnome. One leg with the heel onto the ground. Pull the toes in. Move the leg from left to right. And the other leg with the heel onto the ground, pull the toes in, and move the leg from left to right. And next exercise, it's the train stop. Let's do one more. The train stop. One leg with the toes pulling forward and stretching the inner side of the leg. And back to the other side. And we're doing the last exercise, I think, the Niagara Falls. Legs wide apart, breathing in. And out and we're hanging down. And as we do it, this is a leg stretch, not a back stretch. So we're just breathing in through the nose. And out from the mouth, just to relax the muscles. We are not trying to come deeper down, we're not pulling down. And breathe again in. And out. Again in. And out. Again in. And out over the back. Breathe again in. And out. And again in. And out over the other leg. Breathe again in. And out. And again in. And out of the middle. Now close the feet, but keep on hanging down. Breathe again in. And out, we're hanging down. And again in. And out. Again in. And out. And the last time. And now I can slowly around back up and making the top of backwards short. Well, that's actually another exercise for trunk again. I have a breathing in and going down. And breathe out. Again in. Out. Again in. Out. Again in. And out. Everything comes for next. And out. That was the standing leg stretching. I think I very much again at the next time.